He didn't have to do this job. To know that about 3 years ago, and this I'd like everybody to kind of hear, even in the back. About 3 years ago, a group of generals came to me, and it was explained to me they were ready to conduct a coup d'etat. They were ready to move Barack Obama from office with military force. And then a few weeks later, I got another call and said that they were reconsidering. You know why they were reconsidering? No, why? Because they talked to Donald Trump. And Trump agreed that he would run. And they agreed that if he would run, they would conduct their coup d'etat as a legitimate process, rooting out the traitors within government. And that pact between the military and Donald Trump has held. As we've been interpreting and watching, and Alex has been following QAnon, QAnon is military intelligence and close to Trump. And the intelligence we're getting that we've explained on InfoWars really is a lot of the inside script. Now, everybody says Donald Trump is going to lose, he's going to be out of office, he's going to be impeached. You watch CNN, MSNBC, they're throwing a party today, and all the 20 people watching them across the nation are very enthused. Donald Trump will not be removed from office. He will not be removed from office. And in the counterattack he's going to launch, one or two facts that could change everything. Get a report from Michael Horowitz, the Inspector General, who details the corruption within the Department of Justice. Donald Trump is right. Maybe we should tear down the FBI building and start over again. And if you take a look at the depth of this corruption, it's pervasive since George H.W. Bush. The bureaucrats who have stayed, including these SES bureaucrats who are there mostly permanently, they're globalists. They don't believe in America anymore. They think they're smarter than America, smarter than the Founding Fathers. We ought to revise the Constitution. There's a very simple word that describes what they are. Traitors. Traitors. It's a capital crime. And I want to predict to you here today that when the tables turn, Donald Trump will be invoking military tribunals, and even Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama are going to be facing treason charges.
Have we had no audio? Have we had no audio? Okay, well, apparently we had no audio. Well, what I was saying was that in the prior episode, we covered post 1 through 17. So today we'll begin with post number 18. And this is an effort here to allow everyone to listen to this material who may not be familiar with it, to understand what it actually is. All right, so on to post 18. Okay, so let's start here with post 18. Why did Mueller meet POTUS 1 day prior to FBI announcement if Mueller could not be offered director due to previous term limits rule? Why is Pelosi begging for a new special counsel? What is Pelosi's net worth? Well, let us pause. $120 million. Or more. Okay. There are different numbers here. Forbes estimates 290 million. Okay, so how was this obtained given salary as a career official? Why is Pelosi's memory going? Could it protect against prosecution? How so? What if John M.'s surgery was fake? Why would this occur? What could prevent this? Or what could this prevent potentially? What is the Mayo Clinic? Who sits on the board of directors there? Okay, and that was November 1st, 2017. You see there's many posts on that particular day, November 1st. Okay, this is post 19. Why do D's want to control the black population? Why do they intentionally keep poor and in need? Why do D's project racism on a daily basis against R's? Why do black elected officials do the crazy talk on behalf of D's? How do D's cover the historical facts of forming the Confederacy, KKK, and oppose all things pro-black regarding legislation? What happens if the D's lose the slave grip on the black population? What do D's, through funding of the CIA, prop up and install? Or why do, through funding of CIA, prop up and install Hollywood media assets? Does this fall within Operation Mockingbird? What were the historical advantages D's gained by having mainstream media and famous people peddling a narrative? Who exposed the pedo network within Hollywood? You can't answer the above, but will laugh once disclosed details. The network which controls this false narrative, which in turn keeps the black population under control, is being dismantled. False and local and national black leaders will be exposed as shills for the Democrat Party. Follow the money. Maxine Waters has a $4 million home and cash assets in excess of $6 million. How is that possible? Who did POTUS meet with yesterday? Was A.G. Sessions there? How many military generals were on the White House list to attend a separate meeting? Could those meetings have been combined? Why were certain rooms in the White House renovated? Where was the meeting on Monday? Why aren't phones allowed in this room? What firm was contracted to conduct the renovations? I dumped some crumbs like this over the weekend, which started the intense shilling. At this point, we are far enough along, you can paint the picture without risk of jeopardizing the operation. Who controls the National Guard? Why was the National Guard recently activated in select cities within the U.S.? Can the National Guard work in coordination with the Marines? Do conditions need to be satisfied to authorize? What former president used the military to save the republic and what occurred exactly? Biggest drop to ever be provided on poll. Study and prepare. The masses tend to panic in such situations. No war, no civil unrest, clean and swift. Well, that's a little odd to me before we continue because this statement was made prior. Let's go back and see. So this is post 22. See if we can find it. Well, I failed at finding it. Let's continue. Who controls the National Guard? Why was the National Guard recently activated in select cities within the U.S.? Can the National Guard work in coordination with the Marines? Oh, we've read this one. Okay. Okay. 23, November 1st, 2017. Note, MI has the same SAPs as NSA, CIA, etc. as designated post 9/11. Why is this relevant? Who can be held hostage and controlled? CIA thinks its foreign offshore assets are strong enough to defend against the U.S. executive, not accounting for military use on domestic soil. Why does the Constitution explicitly grant this authority to the president, and what is it to prevent? They knew our agencies would grow in power, so much so that they could hold the executive hostage or engage with bad actors. Trump nominated someone new to direct every agency but one. He controls the top. Any person making statements they will not be seeking re-election was put in submission. For the betterment of the country, not all will be prosecuted, and all will do as told. You will see more of this occur, not normal, yet disregarded, and even on the Democrat side. And this is what we refer to as the step-down resignations. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Follow up to last post. Return to comments regarding Pelosi and John N. This all has meaning. Everything stated, big picture stuff. Few positions allow for this direct knowledge. Okay. November 3rd, possibly. What does 11-3 mean? We all sincerely appreciate the work you do. Keep up the good fight. The flow of information is vital. God bless. Think about it logically. The only way is the military, fully controlled, save and spread. Once 11-3 verifies his first marker. Biggest advanced drop on pole. Now this is the third mention of biggest drop. It's interesting. I'm going to go back to that when we're done. Not everything can be publicly disclosed because so much ties back to foreign heads of state. Much will be revealed. We want transparency, but not at a cost we can't recover from. All right. Now this looks like a shared post, okay? But interesting. Look at the times. Okay, 1:56. And then at 1:59, a post from 1:48 is shared. Here we go. What must be completed to engage military intelligence over other three-letter agencies? During the 1950s and 60s, federal troops and federalized National Guard forces, accompanied by military intelligence personnel, were deployed to help integrate Southern schools and to help deal with civic disorders in Detroit and other cities the following year, after the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Throughout this period, military intelligence units also continued to collect data on Americans at home who were suspected of involvement in subversive activities. In the late 1960s, the Pentagon compiled personal information on more than 100,000 politically active Americans in an effort to quell civil rights and anti-Vietnam War demonstrations and to discredit protesters. The Army used 1,500 plainclothes agents to watch demonstrations, infiltrate organizations, and spread disinformation. Keep in mind there's a difference between disinformation and misinformation in the following way. Disinformation is information that is false and deliberately created to spread falsehoods and to mislead. An intentional misstating of fact. That's disinformation. Misinformation is simply false or inaccurate information, wrong or error of fact. So disinformation is far more nefarious than misinformation. According to one report, the Army had at least one observer at every demonstration of more than 20 people. The Army's activities were summed up by Senator Sam Ervin. Allegedly, for the purpose of predicting and preventing civil disturbances, which might develop beyond the control of state and local officials, Army agents were sent throughout the country to keep surveillance over the way the civilian population expressed their sentiments about government policies. In churches, on campuses, in classrooms, in public meetings, they took notes, tape recorded, and photographed people who dissented in thought, word, or deed. This included clergymen, editors, public officials, and anyone who sympathized with the dissenters. Okay. So this is what is shared, and then there appears to be a comment attached, which is Trump has had military intelligence infiltrate Antifa and all the dissenting local governments. Always 5 steps ahead, please be true. Now this is a comment by the poster here. Well done, picture being painted. Okay. Some things must remain classified to the very end. North Korea is not being run by Kim. He's an actor in the play. Who's the director? The truth would sound so outrageous, most Americans would riot, revolt, reject, etc. The pedo networks are being dismantled. The child abductions for satanic rituals are paused. We pray every single day for God's guidance and direction as we are truly up against pure evil. November 1st, post 30. Would you believe a device was placed somewhere in the White House that could actually cause harm to anyone in the room and would in essence be undetected? Fantasy, right? I assume that means some sort of microwave weapon. When Trump was elected, you can't possibly imagine the steps taken prior to losing power to ensure future safety and control. Now, this is interesting considering our current situation. When was it reported Trump Jr. dropped his Secret Service detail? Why would he take that huge risk given what we know? I can hint and point, not give too many highly classified data points. These keywords and questions are framed to reduce sniffer programs that continually absorb and analyze data, then push to Z terminals for evaluation. Think XKSC on steroids. Okay, so this is the interesting quote here. All right. Remember, this is still all November 1st, 2017. World stalemate. We have all the goods on everyone else. That's part of the reason why some things that tie back to foreign heads of state will remain classified. Not all. We are in one of the most critical times of our country. Trump and others are working to balance the "we're doing well for America" for the common person to endorse, while at the same time purify our government and remove the bad actors who are entrenched. There's so much string pulling and blackmail that we need to cut these off to truly gain power. The power granted to us by the patriots and hardworking people of this great country. So this is an interesting typo for me. It almost screams of rushed typing, as if it's not very careful. "32. Maybe one day, but it cannot go slow. The initial wave will be fast and meaningful. It will send a signal to others immediately, and you'll see the tide turn. Not even the mainstream media can hide, and rest assured, some will be jailed as deep cover agents." 33. 33. I'm hopeful my time spent here was not wasted. Note, few if any shills inside this thread. Reason for that, it's being monitored, recorded and analyzed, and don't want the clutter. Take care, God bless. Take good care. God bless. All right. Still, November 1st, post 34. Q clearance, Patriot. Now, November 1st, 2017. My fellow Americans, over the course of the next several days, you will undoubtedly realize that we are taking back our great country, the land of the free, from the evil tyrants that wish to do us harm and destroy the last remaining refuge of shining light. On POTUS's order, we have initiated certain fail-safes that shall safeguard the public from the primary fallout, which is slated to occur 11/3 upon the arrest announcement of Mr. Podesta, actionable 11/4. Confirmation to the public of what is occurring will then be revealed and will not be openly accepted. Public riots are being organized in serious numbers in an effort to prevent the arrest and capture of more senior public officials. On POTUS's order, a state of temporary military control will be actioned and special ops carried out. False leaks have been made to retain several within the confines of the United States to prevent extradition and special operator necessity. Rest assured, the safety and well-being of every man, woman, and child of this country is being exhausted in full. However, the atmosphere within the country will unfortunately be divided, as so many have fallen for the corrupt and evil narrative that has long been broadcast. We will be initiating the emergency broadcast system during this time in an effort to provide a direct message avoiding the fake news to all citizens. Organizations and or people that wish to do us harm during this time will be met with swift fury. Certain laws have been pre-lifted to provide our great military the necessary authority to handle and conduct these operations at home and abroad. So this is an odd one. It's very odd. I mean, first, there's this, almost like a title. And then it begins like a presidential speech. It's very odd. However, you see, although it begins like a speech of a president, there's a reference to this here. Okay. Then there's the use of the word we. We. And again, November 1st. POTUS will be well insulated, protected on Air Force One and abroad, specific locations classified, while these operations are conducted due to the nature of the entrenchment. It is time to take back our country and make America great again. Let us salute and pray for the brave men and women in uniform who will undertake this assignment to bring forth peace, unity, and return power to the people. It is our hope that this message reaches enough people to make a meaningful impact. We cannot yet telegraph this message through normal methods for reasons I'm sure everyone can understand. Follow the questions from the previous threads and remain calm. The primary targets are within DC and remain at the top on both sides. The spillover in the streets will be quickly shut down. Look for more false flags. Stay alert, be vigilant, and above all, please pray. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish but have eternal life. Love is patient, love is kind. God bless, and again, it's weird, my fellow Americans. And what is this? 41020. What is that? 41020. November 1st, 2017. Now, as you see, 10:56 p.m. Eastern, 12:54 a.m. Eastern. Military intelligence, no media, no leaks. How many military generals have been in and out of the White House in the past 30 days? Focus on Flynn, background and potential role. What is the common denominator in terms of military backgrounds close to POTUS? Why did Soros transfer the bulk of his public funds to an NPO? Why is this relevant? Who owes a lot to very bad actors? How can she repay as payment was made under promise of victory? What cash payments occurred by BO during the last 90 days of his presidency to foreign states and or organizations? What slush fund did Attorney General Sessions, through Department of Justice, put an end to? How does Soros, Obama, Clinton, Holder, Lynch, etc. all net many millions of dollars normal within a single tax year? What was negotiated on the tarmac between BC and Lynch? Remember, it was expected HRC was going to win during this time period. Remember, it was expected HRC was going to win during this time period. What if the wizards and warlocks tipped off a local reporter to the supposed unscheduled stop? What if the NSA, under the personal direction of Adam R., had this meeting miscat and logged under a false identity to prevent bad actors from locating, while also verifying to said players all was clear, no logs? What really happened when the wizards and warlocks revealed what they had? Was Comey forced into the spotlight shortly thereafter, not by choice? Right before election, no doubt, which would cast suspicion? These are crumbs, and you cannot imagine the full and complete picture. If Trump failed, if we failed, and HRC assumed control, we as patriots were prepared to do the unthinkable. This was leaked internally and kept the delegate recount scam and Obama from declaring fraud. Dig deeper, missing critical points to paint the full picture. There is simply no other way than to use the military. It's that corrupt and dirty. Please be safe for those in harm's way as they continually protect and serve our great country. Very strange. Lots of questions here. November 2nd, 12:57 a.m. So these have just been coming for hours and hours, this whole series here. They are the true patriots we will never forget. Who is they? Let these coming days be remembered in our history as the time we fought to recapture the Republic from those evil bad actors who for so long have sacrificed the good people of this land for their own personal gain. Fight the good fight. Let justice be served. Again, still going. Okay. 4 carriers and escorts in the Pacific. Why is that relevant? To prevent other state actors from attempting to harm us during this transition, Russia, China, or conversely, all for North Korea, or all three. Think logically about the timing of everything happening. Note increased military movement. Note false flags. Note National Guard deployments. Note false flags follow human prepare messages of reassurance based on what was dropped here to spread on different platforms. The calm before the storm. And continuing. Again, still in the AM. This has been a volley of posts here, back one after the other, back to back. Would it blow your mind if I told you BO has been to North Korea and perhaps there now? Why did his administration do little to slow their nuclear and missile capabilities? Who feeds North Korea with strategic intel? Iran? What deal was done with Iran under Barack Obama? Why was the deal sealed under a top secret classification? Why wasn't Congress notified? Why, after Barack Obama left office, all of a sudden, North Korea has nukes and the tech to miniaturize for payload delivery within the US? What about NSA, CIA, DI, etc., all confirming tech won't be in place for 5+ years? Statements made in 2016. Why is all of this relevant, and what does it tell you big picture is rare? Oh, here we go again. 4-10-20. A, B, C, D, E. Okay, and it's still going, as you see. This has been a flood of postings. What a coincidence, the mountain that housed North Korea's nuclear weapons and testing collapsed. Unbelievable timing. I wonder if critically important materials as well as scientists, aka the bomb makers, were inside when it happened. Shocking, no global news agency suspects we had nothing to do with it. Enjoy the crumbs. Now, that had happened in October, just prior to this date of this posting. Again, there's this, and you see it's still part of this sequence of postings. We serve at the pleasure of the President, DJT. All right, and still going here, 3 a.m. These crumbs are not meant to scare anyone, but merely inform. Resistance will be dealt with swiftly. The core focus is removing entrenched and fortified bad actors within our federal government, as well as others. Simply be diligent. Phone numbers will be provided if you witness an uprising or other domestic violence, in addition to 911. Any military scene is for your protection as well as to demonstrate our resolve. Watch for confirmation tomorrow. Okay. Before POTUS departs on Friday, he will be sending an important message via Twitter. I should keep doing that. Now notice, now there's a gap. So we go from 3 a.m., 12 p.m. Follow Huma. What just broke with Huma? What did HRC instruct Huma to do regarding classified markings? Why is this story just now coming out? What relevance does it have? Why is Donna running for cover? What was a deal granted in exchange for something? Who made the deal? Do we care about Donna or those who instructed her to violate the law? Why is this being leaked versus simply prosecuted privately? Who is attempting to change the narrative and soften the acts that are forthcoming this weekend? Why is this information important regarding Barack Obama, important regarding Uranium One or U1 and export approval to Canada to EU? Where is BO today? Did BO and or his admin ever make false statements that U1 would never be exported from the US? Who made those statements? Who did they report to? Why is this relevant? The public has been given a select taste, i.e. sampling. Rest assured, others have it all, 100% verifiable and impossible to refute. Why is this relevant? Who controls the narrative? Why are left-wing organizations beginning to report on DNC corruption? Does the CIA have operators inside the mainstream media? Yes. What happens if exposed? What happens if tied back as knowing to execs? What does this have to do with leaking? What if it can be verified, no sourced stories, made up stories, were in fact and approved to be published? The wormhole goes deep. Well, that's propaganda. Okay. You can paint the picture based solely on the questions being asked. Be vigilant today and expect a major false flag. Does anyone find it to be a coincidence there is always a terrorist attack when bad news breaks for the Democrats? What is that called? Military relevant how? BO could not and would not allow the military to destroy ISIS. Why? How was ISIS formed? When? How has POTUS made such progress in the short time he's been president? Alice in Wonderland. What is Q clearance? What hint does that explicitly refer to? Department of Energy? Who would have the goods on uranium 1? What does stating Q refer that person works in DOE? No. Does it refer that someone dropping such information has the highest level of security within all departments? Why is that relevant? May 2010, BO. Russia should be viewed as a friendly partner under Section 123 of the Atomic Energy Act of 1954, after agreeing to a new nuclear weapons reduction deal and helping U.S. with Iran. Who's the enemy? What is being continually stated by all Democrats? Russia is what? What did Russia reset really provide? Clearance pathway to complete the U1 deal. Why is the Canadian PM so important? They never thought they were going to lose the calm before the storm. Follow Senator Grassley. What is different effective this week? What do you notice? Why does Senator Grassley, one example, have a higher than normal amount of security detail? Why is Grassley and others held in a secure location? When did this start? What has been different this week? U1 FBI informant. Have secret sessions been underway? How could this be discovered? What must be reported, even if filed under state secrets? It's a name recognized around the world, Alice in Wonderland. And we're still going. This is still November 2nd. Big drop. How did North Korea obtain uranium? How did Iran obtain uranium? Why did Barack Obama send billions in cash and wire to Iran? Why the cash component? Was the hostage component a cover for what? Could any of the cash component be handed off to other people? How many planes carried the cash into Iran? Did all land in Iran? Did all land in the same location? Why is this relevant? Who controls North Korea? Who really controls North Korea? Don't think of a single person, think of a powerful entity. Why is this important? Why are wars so important? Who benefits? What does hostage refer to? Who can be held hostage and controlled by North Korea having miniaturized nuclear weapons? Where is Barack Obama today? Where is VJ? Alice in Wonderland. Okay, still November 2nd. Okay, this is a repost, see? I've watched as society has been effectively addicted to mainstream media, apps, social media, games, music, all propaganda, and the moment you try to open anyone else or anyone's eyes, you are shunned, being dumbed down, weakened, and groomed for passivity and stupidity through food and their addictions, like calf literally being fattened for a slaughter. And with all the race war propaganda and Pizzagate possibility, I became suicidal because I cannot stand that no one will open their eyes and are being manipulated hard. I hope with all of my heart that Trump is going to make good on his promise to MAGA and clean the swamp. I've been thinking about joining the Navy for Corpsman Greenside, and I would love to serve under a Trump administration if he really does clean swamp. We'll try to join regardless, no openings for Corpsman right now, though. I hope that what Op Anon says is true. I will be praying for Op Anon and all who risk their lives for safety and that the Lord will guide them, and praying that what he says is true. And we'll be praying for the spiritual edification of God for Trump and for his complete safety in all of this. The pieces are coming together for me, and if this is true, those working with him are absolute geniuses, because I would have never imagined there would be any way possible to take the monster of corruption that has overtaken this country. Then this is the comment with the repost. Dear Patriot, we hear you. We hear all Americans, such as yourself. The time has come to take back our great land. The time is now. Rest assured, POTUS is backed by the absolute finest people alive, who are all dedicated to the eradication, evil, and corruption from the U.S. world. See, there's no of. There's no of here. Again, indicating like a rapid typing. Find peace. God is with us. God bless and be safe. The WH. I know this is difficult. This is difficult, you know. What is this? All right. November 2nd. List out all who have foundations. Why is this relevant? How can donations be used personally? Analyze the filings. Who is charged with overseeing this? IRS? Corrupt? Politically motivated? The level of corruption in our country and most others is so severe that there is only one way. Alice in Wonderland. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Okay. Look to Twitter. Exactly this. My fellow Americans, the storm is upon us. God bless. Anonymous. Still November 2nd. Okay. The Clinton campaign is attempting once again to sweep important questions under the rug about top aide Huma Abedin, her family ties to the Muslim Brotherhood and to Saudi Arabia, and her role in the ballooning Clinton email scandal. Her mother, Saleha Abedin, sits on the Presidency Staff Council of the International Islamic Council for Dawah and Relief, a group that is chaired by the leader of the Muslim Brotherhood, Sheikh Yusuf al-Qaradwawi. Perhaps recognizing how offensive such ties will be to voters concerned over future terrorist attacks on this country by radical Muslims professing allegiance to Sharia law, the Clinton campaign on Monday tried to downplay Ms. Abedin's involvement in the journal and the Muslim Brotherhood. The Clinton surrogate group, Media Matters, claimed predictably that there was, quote, no evidence that Ms. Abedin or her family had ties to the Muslim Brotherhood, and that Trump campaign staffers who spoke of these ties were conspiracy theorists. To debunk the evidence, Media Matters pointed to a Snopes.com, quote, fact check piece that cited as its sole source Senator John McCain. This is the same John McCain who met Libyan militia leader Abdel Karim Belhaj, a known Al-Qaeda associate, and saluted him as my hero during a 2011 visit to Benghazi. Senator McCain and others roundly criticized Representative Michelle Bachmann in 2012 when she and four members of the House Permanent Select Committee Intelligence and the House Judiciary Committee cited Ms. Abedin in letters sent to the Inspectors General of the Department of Defense, Department of State, Department of Justice, Department of Homeland Security, and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, warning about Muslim Brotherhood infiltration of the United States government. Why is this relevant? Who took an undisclosed trip to Saudi Arabia? What was the purpose of a face-to-face virtual phone call? Alice in Wonderland. I mean, this person has not stopped. Look, this is all November 2nd, 2017. Okay, and as you see, this is this exact post is being reposted with additional comment. Senator McCain and others roundly criticized Michelle Bachmann in 2012. Okay, we just read that. So they've added this. Why is this relevant? Who took an undisclosed trip? What was the purpose? So see, it's tying these two together. Now, still November 2nd. How did Saudi Arabia welcome POTUS during his trip? Why was this historic and not covered by mainstream media? How did Saudi Arabia welcome Barack Obama during his trip? How did Saudi Arabia welcome Hillary Clinton during her trip? Why is this relevant? Not suggesting Saudi Arabia is clean by any means, but they play a role in the global game of risk. This is interesting here. Combine all posts and analyze. Okay, that's pointer. The questions provide answers. Remember, information is everything. The flow of information is no longer controlled by the mainstream media, but by you and others. Hence, why we are dedicating critical time to distribute crumbs, which can be followed in greater detail to paint the entire picture once more information is released. Why has POTUS dedicated so much time into labeling the mainstream media as fake news? Why is this relevant? We are fully prepared that all social media will be shut down to prevent the spread of this information. And it was. Look how predictive this is. Trump's Twitter and or mass censoring. It exactly happened that way. Sealed federal orders pre-submitted as prevention and masked as in general, though that does not account for the rogue agents programmers within. Dates and pending actions are deliberately provided for authenticity. Okay, so you see that they just predicted here, okay, this thing, and then said it's sort of a verifier. You can count the people who have the full picture on two hands. Of those, less than 10 people, only 3 are non-military. Why is this relevant? Game theory. Outside of a potential operator who has been dialed in with orders specific to his or her mission, nobody else has this information. Operators never divulge. Alice in Wonderland. Okay. Please refer back and collect my crumbs. As discussed, we've anticipated the Twitter and other social media blackouts, which absolutely happened, rogue agents and programmers, which absolutely happened, per sealed federal orders, we quickly tracked and reinstated. Expect outages periodically. If this doesn't signal what I've been saying, this person is providing some sort of predictor accuracy marker here. Okay. And then this one is odd in that it's signed. Okay, see how it's, I think it's the first time we've seen that. Another suggestion to do this. Take everything, collect it together. Highly recommended someone take all my crumbs and put into a massive dump, a single shot. This will be considered the biggest inside approved dump in in American history. They are beginning to understand, as Podesta's attorney was just notified. All my dumps are being recorded, but again, it doesn't matter. Alice in Wonderland, where is BO today? Those watching, you know who you are. You have a choice to make. You can stand up and do what you know to be right, or you can suffer the consequences of your previous actions. Make no mistakes, you're on the losing side. The choice is yours. If you decide to take down pole and the net, we will be ready. There's some code. Alice in Wonderland. I'm getting sick of reading the Alice in Wonderland. Okay. I mean, this person has not stopped. You see, it's almost been 24 hours. Fellow patriots, I'm being advised actions have created accelerated counteractions. We have not yet ascertained the scope of the attack. Watch the news outlets. POTUS's Twitter takedown was not by accident, as referenced several hours ago. Should the lights go out, please know that we are in control. Do not panic. We are prepared and assets are in place. Now, this is interesting. God bless, I must go for good at this point. And it's signed again. Okay, that is marked with a timestamp, 7/31, November 2nd. +30 minutes later, flash traffic. 3-letter agency embedded trafficking up channel into POTUS's Twitter to specifically target through specialized geo and send his location. We anticipated this, see post a few hours ago. It has begun, perhaps more posts to follow as expected, imminent departure. And again, see the allegation here. Okay, now, someone says, let's be clear. You're telling us POTUS is currently under attack by our own intelligence agencies? This person says, let's be real clear. The CIA just attacked the command-in-chief. See? Command-in-chief. Not commander-in-chief. Which was immediately detected by NSA military intelligence and alerted to POTUS. Review all my crumbs, including today, yesterday, weekend. What does this mean? What actions are immediately occurring? If this leaks, or the immediate action ongoing at Langley, you'll have your verification ahead of schedule. All right. I mean, what happened at Langley, or what will happen? And I think we'll do a few more and call it a day. Let's do these November 3rds and call it a day. All right. Where is John Podesta? Where is Tony Podesta? Did one or both escape the country and was let out? Where is Barack Obama? Where was Barack Obama yesterday? What is the difference between commercial and private regarding security clearance for departure? Who is the TSA head? Which party did he contribute to? What is of particular interest when researching? How does HS, Homeland Security, interact with TSA? What updated post 9/11 protocols were put in place to prevent, stop, inbound, outbound sea level targets? What local airports are in close proximity to DC? What happened shortly after 9/11, specifically with all aircraft? Who was authorized to depart? Only one plane was authorized during this mandatory forced grounding. Who specifically authorized that? What airport did that departure take place? Why is this relevant? How does it tie together? Podesta's plane has military escort, i.e. tag, and is being diverted, forced down. Short delay, this will be leaked. Watch the news, have faith. What fake news anchor will not be on air tonight? Why is this relevant? Was it stated? Well, what was stated in the past? Where did the 18 billion from Soros go? Why? Can it be used by bad actors? Escape, bribes, rogue contractors, etc. Slush fund. Did the US government seize, stop, track other slush funds that prevent or create risk to operate? Why did JK travel to Saudi Arabia recently? What is Saudi Arabia known for? Where do the biggest donations originate from? Why is this relevant? What else is relevant with Saudi Arabia? Safe harbor, port of transfer. Why was there a recent smear campaign against JK and POTUS? Why is the timing important? Who released the article? The Council of Wizards and Warlocks cannot be defeated. Nice view up here. Now you see, this person who had promised to go is not gone and still signing these posts. Okay. What data just dropped? Why is this relevant? Huma. Where is Huma? Who is Huma connected to what organization? What is Huma's family history? How did Huma meet HRC? What did HRC say about Huma that demonstrates how close they are? Why are D's dropping HRC all of a sudden? Were deals made with select D's? Can we expose every crooked politician? 70%. Huma follow Huma. Alice in Wonderland. Post 69. Godspeed to those who will be put in harm's way. You are the bravest men and women on earth. We will never forget. All share one title in common, and that's the title Hero. quote, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely your goodness love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever." So what's the point of that prayer there? That was a flurry of postings. A lot to read. Thanks everyone for being here and listening to those of you who have never heard them, read them, seen them. There you go. And that will do it for our second episode of the read through of the original Q drops. There's many more to come. Thank you for being here.